3 days after the Williamses received their $89,000 life settlement check, Miss Williams called crying. She said, everyone knows about the money now, and my phone hasn't stopped ringing. My own daughter is mad at me because I won't pay off all her credit cards. What do I do? If your family has received a life settlement or is about to, this video could save your relationships and your money. I'm Sheila Roselle, and in my time as a life settlement broker, I've learned and still learning that getting the money is often the easy part. The hard part is what happens when family and friends find out about that money. Now, in my last video, I talked about planning for your settlement money. I did, so that it wouldn't disappear, but I didn't address the biggest threat to that plan. Want to know what that is? Family pressure. Today, I'm going to share real stories and give you the exact scripts to handle these completely difficult conversations. Now, the reality of family pressure, let me tell you. Let me be honest about it. Let me be honest about something most brokers won't tell you. Within 30 days of receiving a life settlement, 80% of families get requests for money from relatives and from friends. 80%. It might be your adult son who says, Mom, Dad, could you just please pay off my student loans so I can have a break? You still have plenty left. Or your daughter who mentions that your grandchild's college fund could really use a boost right now. Maybe it's your sister who's always struggled financially and sees this as your chance to finally help her, to help the family. These are real stories, y'all. The Williamses had a perfect plan. Pay off their small debts, set aside money for home repairs, invest the rest. But within a week, they had requests from family members over $150,000. That was more than the entire settlement. Now, here's what makes it really hard. Really hard. These aren't strangers asking for money. These are people you love, using arguments like, you can't take it with you, or family should help family, or the worst one, you weren't expecting this money anyway because you was going to lapse it. So what's the difference? Why it's so hard to say no? Before I give you the tools to handle this, let me acknowledge why it's so emotionally difficult. First of all, you love these people. When your daughter is stressed about debt, your instinct is to help if you can. It's just an instinct. Second, there's guilt. Some families feel guilty about getting this big old windfall while others are struggling. Third, there's family history. Maybe you've always been the one who helps out. Or maybe on the other shoe, maybe someone helped you out years ago and now you feel obligated. But here's what I tell every family. Helping others is wonderful. It is. But not if it jeopardizes your own security. You can't help anyone from a position of financial weakness. You can't. You can't. Now, here are the exact responses that works best for different situations. Script 1 you can use. For adult children who's asking for debt help, I understand you're stressed about this debt, and I wish I could solve it for you. I really do. But this settlement money is our security for medical expenses and long-term care, and we've already allocated every dollar. So let's talk about other ways that I may be able to support you. Okay, script 2. Okay, for multiple requests. We're so grateful for this settlement, and we know everyone has financial challenges. We do. But Dad and I have made some hard decisions about how this money needs to be used for our future security. And we're not able to use it for loans or gifts, but we want to maintain our relationship with everyone. We do. This is the redirect approach. This is about grandchildren's expenses. I love that you're thinking about little Billy's future. I do too. This settlement is specifically for our health care and housing security as we age. But let's talk about other ways that I can support little Billy. Maybe helping with smaller expenses or being there in other ways. Okay, script 4. This is a reality check approach. This is for the adult children saying this. That policy was for us anyway, Mom and Dad. This is what you say. I understand you saw that policy as your inheritance. I do. And we wanted it to be too. But the reality is this, my child. We were about to let it lapse because we couldn't afford the $600 monthly payments anymore. And you couldn't either. You would have gotten nothing if we've canceled it. This settlement allows us to get some value from all those years of premiums and removes the financial stress that was affecting our health. The choice wasn't between you getting $200,000 someday or us getting $85,000 now. The choice was between us getting $85,000 now or everyone getting nothing. You get it? Notice that in each script, you acknowledge their situation, you explain your position clearly, and offer to maintain the relationship. You're not being mean, you're being responsible. Now, what happens when they don't accept no? Because it happens. Unfortunately, some family members won't accept your first no. And here's how to handle the escalation. Okay? When they say, I can't believe you won't help your own family, try this. I am helping my family by making sure Dad and I don't become a financial burden on anyone and on you guys and on your family as we age. This money is our way of staying independent. The anger response. When they get angry or stop talking to you, this is painful, but remember, anyone who would damage your relationship over money that you won't give them is showing you their true priorities, and it's not you. Don't let their reaction change your responsible decision. Please don't do that. Okay, the manipulation response. When they say things like, you've been selfish, or what would Dad say? Because this is a deceased parent. What would he think? I think Dad, who is, by the way, deceased, will want us to be smart with this money so we can maintain our dignity and independence. That's exactly what we're doing. Now, the best time to handle this is before you receive the settlement. Have a family meeting and set expectations up front. Here's what the Garcia's family did. They called their adult children and said, we want to let you know that Dad's life insurance situation, it worked out well, kids. It worked out well. We're going to receive a settlement that would help us with our future security. We've already made decisions about how this money needs to be used for our health care and housing needs as we age, so we won't be a burden on you. We wanted you to hear this from us first. Then add this, then say, this isn't money we can use now for loans or gifts because it's specifically for our long-term care security. But we wanted you to know so you wouldn't worry about us financially. Now, by setting expectations up front, the Garcias, they avoided most of the difficult conversation that other families face. Protecting the money practically. Now, beyond the conversations, here are some practical steps to protect the money. Now, step 1, don't keep large amounts in easily accessible accounts. If the money is in a CD or investment account, it's easier to say that money is tied up rather than having to say, I don't want to give it to you. Okay, makes sense? Step 2, limit who knows the exact amount. Okay, you can acknowledge you received a settlement without sharing specific numbers. Okay, step 3, have a standard response ready. Don't make decisions on the spot when people ask for money. This is what you say. Let me think about it and get back to you. Then stick to your plan. Number 4, consider working with a financial advisor or a family counselor if the pressure is getting to be overwhelming. Sometimes having a third party, kind of explain why you need to preserve the money carries more weight. Makes sense? Makes sense? Now, to the family members and the children, remember this settlement money represents decades of insurance premiums that your parents paid. It's not lottery winnings. It's their financial security converted into cash. Now to you parents, you have permission to protect this money, even from your family. You have permission to say no to people you love. You have permission to prioritize your long-term security over other people's immediate wants. You have permission to do that. The Williamsons, After that difficult first week, they used the scripts that was given to them, had honest conversations with their family, and stuck to their plan. 2 years later, they still have most of their settlement money working for them. And their relationships, it recovered because everyone understood they were being responsible. They were not being selfish. Now, if you're facing this pressure right now, you're not alone. And you're not being unreasonable. Protecting this money is the most responsible thing that you can do. Now, if this was helpful, subscribe for more real-world advice about life settlements and financial planning for seniors. And if you're just starting to explore life settlements, please check out my complete series that walks you through the entire process. This is Sheila Rosiel with Legacy Life 101, and be blessed.